Hi, welcome all to the next edition of Tech Sambad, where we discuss about news about AI, large language models, impact on industries and all. So in this edition, I have four segments. The first segment, I'll talk about OpenAI's new yardstick for AI's economic impact. It launched GDPVAL. So let's start the story that has profound implication for the entire AI industry. OpenAI introduced GDPVAL, a new evaluation framework designed to measure how well AI models perform on real-world economically valuable tasks. This isn't a new model, but something arguably more important, a new benchmark. Till now, we have seen a lot of academic benchmarks, and there has been charges that the models actually re-engineer themselves to score high on those benchmarks. But this benchmark majorly focuses into the economic impact for the AI. It actually it evaluates models on over 1,300 tasks which humans do across 44 different occupations, from financial analyst to graphic designer, that are central to the US economy as of now. The name itself, GDP-VAL, signals the ambition to create a yardstick that measures an AI potential to contribute to gross domestic product. They have very interesting findings. Something which I really like was uh, it revealed that the top model are already performing at or near human expert levels in nearly half of these tasks. For details, I'll be giving the link in this show. Now, the second item is one of the biggest news which happened. These days, lot of big deals are happening. Uh, Last week or a couple of weeks back, it was Oracle and OpenAI 300 billion cloud infrastructure deal. Now, this week, it was Oracle again with Meta AI with 20 billion cloud infrastructure deal to support Meta AI infrastructure requirements. Now, a lot of investments are happening. Now, for example, last week itself, OpenAI and NVIDIA announced a landmark strategic partnership to deploy a staggering 10 gigawatts of NVIDIA powered systems. To put that in perspective, 10 gigawatts is enough electricity to power roughly 7.5 million homes. And the deal is announced some 100 billion. So so this is quite interesting because if you look at it now, OpenAI and NVIDIA announced a partnership. It is around 100 billion. Couple of weeks back, it was Oracle and OpenAI, which was 300 billion. So where OpenAI will give Oracle 300 billion to support the cloud infrastructure. Now, to power up those cloud infrastructure, the GPUs and all, Oracle will give money to OpenAI to NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is now working with giving money to OpenAI. So it's becoming a circular sort of economy. A lot of discussion was happening on that on social media. Now, the third segment is a very fun segment. Meta has actually released Meta Vibes. So, if you have Meta AI app in your phones now, you can create some videos. I did try creating some videos, so you can have a look at some of the 5-second videos that I created, quite fun ones. So, there was some serious discussion about a lot of slops being created in the internet. Now it will be filled with a lot of AI generated uh, videos and reels and all. But in my personal opinion, the slop is more of a human problem than an AI problem. Now, the fourth, one of the other key announcement which happened was, which is quite interesting. It can has a serious implication for future. Is uh, OpenAI launched OpenAI Pulse. So what it will do is when you are sleeping, it will look through your calendar, it will look through your chat, and it will give you, the agents will be running at the back end. And on a daily basis, it will give you what are the things you should be doing on that particular day. Now, This is more of AI application. Now it is launched to the pro user. I don't have access to it as of now, but looks quite encouraging, and I think it will have lot of positive implications for the usage of AI in our day-to-day work. Now, the fourth item which I wanted to discuss here, I've created one video overview using Notebook LM, was Cloudflare actually introduced toggles so that it can restrict the access of AI to the various websites. Now, it's a bigger topic where the internet traffic has is dropping big time. The publishers are not getting money. The website hits are going down. So I thought, okay, why not do some research, use the publicity to do the research, and I've created this video for you guys. So just go through the video. You have any questions, comments, please feel free to put it in the comment section below. And till next time, and just one update for the next 2 weeks, I'll be going offline, no computers, and also I'll not be releasing my weekly podcast for the next 2 weeks. And so, see you after 3 weeks. Until then, enjoy and talk to you soon. Thank you.
You know, right now, there's a hidden war being fought for the very soul of the internet. It's a battle over who gets to use, and more importantly, who gets to profit from the massive ocean of content that we've all built together. And right at the center of it all, the explosion of AI. So let's get into what's really going on here. Okay, I know, it sounds a little dramatic, right? But honestly, this is the question that's at the heart of this entire conflict. Because the fundamental way we find and use information online, well, it's starting to crack under the weight of AI. To really get why, you've got to see some of these numbers. They're pretty wild. Let's start with this, 34%. When Google puts one of its AI-generated summaries, they call them AI overviews, at the top of a search page, the number one organic search result, you know, the one that used to be the Holy Grail, it sees its clicks drop by an average of 34%. The most valuable piece of real estate on the entire internet just lost over a third of its value, practically overnight. And for news, oh, it gets even worse. Today, a staggering 69% of searches for news topics end with 0 clicks. Think about that. You search for something, get a little AI summary, and you never actually visit the website of the journalists who did the original reporting. And that number is up from 56% just a year ago. The trend is not looking good. And here's the number that really hits home. $2 billion. That is the estimated annual revenue that publishers say they are losing because of these AI summaries. For them, this isn't some far-off theoretical problem. This is a full-blown economic catastrophe, and it's happening right now. So, all of this brings us to what people are now calling the Great Traffic Collapse. For decades, the entire web has been built on this really simple, unwritten deal. Creators make cool stuff, and in return, search engines send them traffic. But AI has just walked in and completely torn up that agreement. And you can see it right here on this chart. The first bar, that's what a top search results clicks look like without an AI summary. And the second bar? That's the same result with one. The drop is just brutal. We're talking a 32 to 34% hit for that number one spot. And believe me, it gets even worse as you go further down the page. This is how that old deal is breaking down. For years, you let search engines crawl your content for free, and in exchange, they sent you visitors. It was a fair trade. But now, AI models are just scraping all that content, digesting it, and then spitting out answers directly, which often cuts the original creator, the person who did the work, completely out of the loop. And this leads us to what publishers are calling a completely broken web economy. You've got a system where these massive AI companies are extracting unbelievable amounts of value from the web's content, but they're giving next to nothing back in return. The scale of this imbalance, it's really hard to wrap your head around. So check out this crawl-to-click ratio. It really lays it all out. For every 14 times Google's classic crawler visits a site, it sends back 1 click. Okay, fair enough. Now, compare that to OpenAI. It crawls a site 1,700 times for every 1 click it refers. And Anthropic? A mind-blowing 73,000 crawls for a single referral. From the publisher's point of view, the exchange is just, it's not even in the same universe. And to make those abstract numbers really hit home, listen to this. There's a travel website that reported its content was scraped 50,000 times by OpenAI in a single day, and the traffic they got in return? Just 20 human visitors. The owner of the site put it perfectly. That's not a business model, it's a robbery. But look, this isn't just a story about doom and gloom. The creators and publishers are starting to fight back. And they're using some new, really powerful tools to basically try and rewrite the rules of the internet for this new age of AI. The fight actually starts with this humble little text file that's been around forever, robots.txt. The easiest way to think about it is like a bouncer for your website. It tells the bots, hey, you can go here, but you can't go in there. For years, it was basically a gentleman's agreement. But now it's being transformed into the foundation for a legally enforceable contract. And building on that old idea, a company called Cloudflare has introduced something called content signals. It's a huge step up from the old robots.txt file. It basically gives website owners 3 simple toggles. Number 1, do you want your stuff indexed for old school search results? Number 2, do you want it used to generate those instant AI answers? And number 3, do you want it used to actually train future AI models? For the very first time, creators are getting real, granular control. But these toggles, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. They're part of a much bigger battle plan. We're talking automated blocking and even a whole new economic model for how the web works. So Cloudflare's plan has a few different parts. First, they have a service that automatically updates itself to block new AI crawlers the second they appear. They also let you do selective blocking, so you can protect your valuable articles that make you money, while maybe leaving things like your help pages open for the bots. But the most game-changing idea is this pay-per-crawl framework. And this leads to a pretty revolutionary idea, a system where AI companies would actually have to pay for the content they use, just like they pay for electricity or for their servers. Industry groups are already building the tech to make this happen, basically creating a marketplace where content is treated like the valuable commodity it actually is. This quote from Cloudflare's CEO, Matthew Prince, really nails it. He says, if the internet is going to survive the age of AI, we need to give publishers the control they deserve and build a new economic model that works for everyone. This isn't just about a tech fix, it's a full-on philosophical fight to build an economy that can actually sustain creativity in this new world. So where does this all leave us? What does this mean for the future of the web? Well, this isn't just about click-through rates or ad dollars anymore. This is a battle for what you could call economic justice and for the preservation of the open internet as we know it. So here's what's really on the line. First, there's economic justice, making sure that the people who actually create valuable stuff get paid fairly for it. Second, sustainable innovation, building a future where both the content creators and the AI companies can succeed together. And finally, preserving the open web itself and avoiding a future where it's just not profitable to make original content anymore, leaving us with an internet that's just AI models talking to each other in an endless loop. But right now, we're kind of at a stalemate. You have publishers on one side demanding to be paid for their work, and on the other side, you have most of the big AI companies who have shown basically zero interest in paying for it voluntarily. A lot of experts think that real change isn't going to happen until these new rules have the force of law behind them. Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Are these new tools the first shots in a revolution that's going to lead to a fairer, more sustainable web for everyone? Or are we just watching the last defenders of the open internet fight a battle they are simply destined to lose? The answer is going to define the next chapter for all of us online.